The biggest key to flawless foundation, y'all, is Hey guys, what's up? It's Shay. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about beauty, nursing, and lifestyle weekly. And as you can tell in today's title, we're going to be hitting straight into the beauty tier, giving you guys a tip that you have been asking me for the longest. My flawless foundation application technique. I'm going to tell you guys all my deets. We're going to get into products. We're going to get into, application. But most importantly, we're going to get into whatever you use, how to make it flawless. And that's what this video is going to be about. So if you are interested, make sure you stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, girl, what you doing? Make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I'm not going to be before you long, but we're actually going to apply as we go. And the first thing I need to talk to you guys about is how my face got in its current condition. The current condition of my face is 1, clean, and 2, moisturized. These are very important tips to making sure that your application is flawless. I tell people all the time, you can't paint on a wall that's crusty. You can't put foundation on a face that's dirty. So you want to make sure that your face is cleansed at least 2 to 3 hours before you start makeup application. So that means, girls, if you're going out for the night, you might want to make sure you do a facial cleanse even if it's a couple hours before then, whether it's 5 o'clock after dinner. You need some type of clean base to get you started. Secondly, after you get your clean base, you want to make sure it's dry and then you want to make sure it's moisturized. Our skin, guys, is almost like a negative feedback. The less oil you put on it, the more oil your face is going to try to produce to get oil out there. And then if you have dry patches on your face, on the other hand, the foundation is going to adhere to those patches and it's really going to make them vibrant and stand out compared to the other parts of your face. So you want to make sure you have a moisturized face. I don't care if you're an oily girl, I don't care if you're a combo girl, I don't care if you're a dry girl. There needs to be some type of moisturizer underneath your foundation to make sure that that face stays at balance. If you guys are wondering what in particular I use, check out a skincare foundation or skincare routine that I do have on my channel. So now that your face is clean and moisturized, what is next? Next thing is to prep that base, guys. I have a lot of my friends tell me I've never used a primer in my life. I don't need it. I'm not oily. I'm not dry. I have good skin. I don't need primer. I don't care who you are. You need a primer, guys. You need that barrier that is going to sit in between your skin and your foundation, and you need it to help that foundation adhere to your face in a flawless application. For today's application, I am going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is a great affordable primer. It's actually a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which I will also show you guys, and that I also own. I own the little mini. You can get the little mini from Sephora. It's the best. Okay, guys, so in this clip, you can see that I applied the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Guys, I actually haven't used this one in a while, but it's definitely still a favorite. I'm the type of girl that does my eyeshadow and brows before, so just be careful when you're applying around those areas that you don't wipe your eyebrows off or anything like that. But as you can see, I go around and I use the primer just as if it was a moisturizer, and I just rub it into the skin. Those are my favorite kind of primers. As I mentioned to you guys, there are a couple other drugstore ones that I'll put on the screen as I'm showing you guys me applicating. Catrice Goodbye Pores. This is good for if you have those large pores or those areas that try to peek out of your foundation, the little holes in your face and skin. I find this is really good for my T-zone. They also have the Wet n Wild Matte. This is another affordable one that works great for me, especially because I'm combo oily. They also have the Milk Hydro Grip, which, as you guys can see, my package is a little empty. It's one of my favorites. It gives you such a flawless application. And it also has a sister in the drugstore called the Hard Candy Sheer MB Hydrating Primer. This one, not as close as the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is to the Silk Canvas by Tasha, but it's a close cousin, like I said, and it's the same jelly format that you guys see with the Hydro Grip. So the next thing I'll talk about, guys, is a primer water. A lot of people ask me, do I absolutely think this is 100% needed? Is it? I don't know, but do I notice a difference in my face when I don't use it? Heck yes. So primer water is basically kind of also to set your face with something more moisturizing to adhere to the foundation. Some of them are silicone based, so if you have any allergies, make sure you check the ingredients. But this is the Smashbox primer water that I'm using today. This one is one of their limited edition ones. It's in coconut, but they do have a plain one that I also own that is in just, I think, a clear bottle with black spots, and it's by Smashbox. There's also drugstore options for this one too. Again, there's Wet n Wild primer waters that work great, and you can even use your own setting spray. Be careful with these if you have lashes on, because I swear, y'all, I can feel this lash over here trying to lift. Let me see. Okay, she's fine. But when you use these, I usually will typically take something like a box or a fan, and then I'll spray my face like this, just so you're protecting those lashes when you are using any sprays. Okay, I know you guys are like, are we to the application part yet? The last thing I need to tell y'all about is what I use for application. And as you see my hand waving in this direction, you guys probably already have a hint. My makeup gurus are not going to like when I say this. My girls that love foundation are not going to like when I say this. But I do not use a blender for foundation. I can't. When I use it for my face, in my opinion, it comes out just blotchy, and I don't get enough in every area, no matter what one I use. I have favorites. I love them for concealer, but I can't use them for foundation. Now, when it comes to foundation, I like brushes. I don't use the typical foundation brushes, so I'll show y'all what a typical foundation brush is real quick. Y'all, I really don't use a typical foundation brush because I couldn't even find one in the back, but I'll post a picture here. Don't like these ones because it makes your foundation look painted on. You need a buffer brush. You need something that's going to help just pat into the skin and disperse the foundation evenly. So my favorite is the Morphe M439. And you guys are going to see me using this in application today. If you need something more drugstore or a little bit affordable, I don't know if this one is still on the market, but this is the Koki 618. I bought this probably about 2 or 3 years ago. You see, both of these have the dome top that I like. So they're good for packing in, and you'll see that as we apply our foundation. And I really don't want to make this video about products, but I just need to tell you guys what I'm using. So when it comes to choosing a foundation, it honestly depends on the season and the occasion. If I'm going for something more low-key, I'm going to pick something that's not as full coverage, maybe something medium or light coverage, like everyday wear. If I'm going to like a night out, or if I'm going to a special engagement, I'm going to pick something more full coverage. And personally for me, I like matte in the fall. Some people like hydrating. I like matte in the fall, I like hydrating in the winter, and I like matte in the summer. But my all-around go-tos that I'll probably choose over anything at any time, no matter what I'm doing or what occasion, if you're looking for a high-end option, I still stand by the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation. I do not have the right top on mine, y'all, so ghetto, but I use shade 420. I am, as you can see, almost at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna be due to get a new one soon. Love this foundation. It just gives me the perfect finish and the perfect look for any occasion. If you have to go to the drugstore and dig something out, I'm gonna tell you guys about a classic that works wonders. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. They also have a dewy one, so if you're looking for something more dewy, you can choose that. This is in shade 355, and as you can see, this is also getting low as well. So these are both my favorites. This is like actually my second bottle, I think, of Maybelline, and it's just, it works phenomenal. You don't have to break the bank to get foundation to be flawless. I'm telling y'all. That's why I'm throwing products out here, because I don't want people to think this is just a video where I'm shouting all the expensive things you need to go get at Sephora. Sis, go to Rite Aid, go to Walmart, go to Target. You can have a beat face and not have to spend a lot of money. Y'all know that's what my beauty on my channel is about. So we're gonna go right into application, and I always shake my foundations before I apply them. I don't know why I'm shaking both of these, because I'm not gonna do both. Actually, since I'm on a drugstore rave, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fit Me, but I love my Fenty. She's bae. Okay guys, so I'm not gonna speed through this clip too crazy, because I want to really take the time to kind of explain to you guys the technique that I'm using and why it's important. So first of all, as y'all can see, I'm getting towards the end of my Maybelline bottle again, but I'm taking the time to put the foundation on the back of my hand so it has a chance to kind of warm up and get ready for my skin. You can do that, or you can also use the pump to apply directly to your face, but just remember, giving your hand that warm-up time, I think, just makes it more effective when you're applicating. I also took the time to use my setting spray. As you guys can see, I'm using the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and I'll show it again at the end of the video to set my brush and get my brush ready for the application. That makes the brush moist, so you're not using this dry brittle brush to apply this moist product. So I'm going in my face, I'm patting into my face, I'm not painting, I'm not streaking, I'm not rubbing, I'm patting it gently, and I'm just trying to make sure that it's even. I start with one side of the face first, and from that side of the face I move into around the lips and the nose, and then I go and move into the right side. Make sure when you're doing the bottom of your face, you're blending down into your neck. This is really going to help the color just match completely with your skin complexion by blending down into the neck. Color matching, guys, and color choice is not the biggest tip to flawless foundation. You can have the best looking foundation in the world and the color be 10 times off, but it's a good application. Doesn't mean you should go out and wear it, but I'm just letting you guys know. For color techniques, or if you guys want more information about picking and choosing your color, let me know. We'll talk about that in another video. But basically, you guys know there's Sephora and Ulta out there to help you. And if you need self-help techniques, let me know, and we can talk about that in another video. But anywho, you guys continue to see me applying. I'm going to that upper part of my face, and one thing I've learned is as I got to the upper part of my face, guys, I used to be very scant. I feel like you guys on YouTube actually helped me with this, because you see, when I applied the foundation at first, I put 2 dots on the right, 2 dots on the left, and then I put these 3 sparse dots on the top. So I actually put more back on my hand, and I go back into the top to make sure that everything is even and nothing's more sheer than the other. You just want your whole face to just be even. That's like the goal of flawless foundation coverage. And as you're patting it in, you're not like swooping, you're not painting it on. It's helping it melt into that primer that I told you guys about, that primer water. All that stuff is the foundation melting into that, and it's also a barrier in between your skin and that foundation. So these are my techniques. What I'm going to do now that I've applied the foundation, I'm going to go off camera just to complete all the rest of my stuff, my concealer, my blush, my bronzer, etc. And then I'll come back and I'll tell you guys about setting the face and what my tips are for that. I almost forgot to come back and set with y'all, okay? So I finished my concealer, I did my blush, I did my bronzer. I'm trying a new bronzer, so if it looks a little muddy, I apologize. I don't know if I'm really feeling it, but I'm trying to see because it's very hyped up, so I'll let y'all know about what it is soon. But now we get into setting the face. You have 2 options when you set the face for foundation. You can go in with a transparent powder, which basically that is just going to set what you have. It's not going to give you any additional coverage. It's not going to take away any coverage. It's just going to make sure that everything is in place. So one option a lot of people like to use, I use this mainly for my highlighting areas, but they have more colors, is the Laura Mercier Air powder. This is the one in translucent honey. She is amazing. There's also one by Bakery Beauty that's pretty good. There's also one out there, drugstore by Collab, which is in Sally's, that's really good. But this particular, I use my setting powder, at least the honey color, just for under my eyes. Now the second powder you have an option to use is an actual face powder. So the one I have right now here is the MAC, I forgot what the name was, MAC Studio Fix Powder, NW45. I love this powder. It has been my holy staple grail. But the warning with using a face powder is it is foundation powder. It's going to build the coverage that you already have on. So if you're going to use it, I suggest you use a very light hand, and if you have a full coverage foundation, I would use little to none or just use transparent. Now the Maybelline Fit Me is more like medium coverage, so I'm going to go ahead and use this because this is my favorite and this is what I always use. I very rarely use any translucent powder, y'all, and what I do is I just practice. If it's a full coverage, I use a light hand. If it's like a medium light coverage, I use a little bit of thicker hand. So I like full body makeup, so it's to your discretion. But like I said, face powders, these can be worn alone as foundations, so that's why you get more coverage out of them, versus the translucent ones are just going to set what you have in place. I feel like this also just brings everything together, like with you adding the concealer, the blush, the bronzer, it brings it together, but it's enough where it's not taking away from any certain product. Alright guys, the last thing we're going to talk about is your final step in flawless foundation. If you do not do this, everything you did will be in vain in 2 hours. So you want to have a good setting mist and a good blending mist, in my opinion. Blending mist, in my opinion, are more of these ones like the Milani Make It Last. I think there's one by NYX, and people think Fix Plus is more setting, but I think it's more blending. Blending sprays, in my opinion, just bring everything together. And also, if by any chance you were too heavy-handed and you got cake face, this will take the cake face away. So I like to go in, it's called a setting spray, but it's mainly like those sprays that look clear. They're gonna give you just that all together, bring everything together, and Milani Make It Last is one of them. I'll show you guys. I have the huge bottle. They sell it in Walmart. There's a smaller bottle. I love this stuff. It is an exact dupe, in my opinion, to MAC Fix Plus. Finally, you want to go in with your lasting setting spray. So good lasting setting sprays I can tell you guys about. Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I have tons of these in my drawer. This is a big holy grail. I think this bottle just looks like this because it's limited edition, but hold on, I'll pull the regular bottle so I can show you guys real quick. This is what the regular Morphe Continuous Setting Spray looks like. So like I told you guys, the one I have I'm using right now is just a limited edition. It's the same exact spray. It's just in a pretty bottle. But this stuff, guys, is gold. It's going to make sure that face lasts 6, 7, 8 hours. You need this. Another good one is the All Nighter Spray by Urban Decay. The smell on that one's a little weary to me, and it's also a bigger price point, but it's another option. Fix Plus does help it last, but I feel like that's more of like a blending, getting your makeup together. So I spray my Continuous Setting Mist about 2 to 3 minutes after I spray my Milani spray that blends everything together. Alright, y'all, so I had to come in closer to give you these rich Auntie Hillary Banks vibes. Y'all, I just got this cute little coat from Burlington Coat Factory. It's very lightweight, but it's definitely giving that trench look, and I love it. So I said I'm going to throw it on for my video today, and hopefully I'll get to throw it on soon once everything in the world calms down. But anywho, y'all, this is the end of our application. Flawless foundation application video. I hope you guys were able to grab some tips from me here today. If you have any questions about anything that was done, make sure you leave it in the comment box. Do you guys use any of these tips, or did you learn something new? Let me know that too. Like I said, the biggest key to flawless foundation, y'all, is the base, the skin. So I'm going to include my skin routine from last year in the tags, and if you guys want a new one, let me know. But you got to start with the proper face. Clean, fresh, moisturized. And I understand like some people might have breakouts, bruises, bumps, etc. That stuff can be concealed if you're using the proper techniques to get through the routine, starting with a clean base. That is big key. A lot of people come to me and they ask, why is this happening and why is this happening? And the first thing I ask people is, how often do you wash your face? Or what time did you wash your face before your foundation? And they look at me like, huh? I didn't wash no face before that. You guys got to make sure that you're getting the face clean and ready and prepped. Just like they have to prime walls to make sure the paint goes on good. You got to prime your face to make sure that the foundation gets on good. So leave comments down below. Give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. But I will see you in our next upload.